Welcome to turning a moment into a movement.
Just a light of mine. I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. Just a light of mine. Just a light of mine. I'm gon' let it shine.
This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh Lord, just let it shine. This light of mine, this light of mine. Oh Lord, would you please just let it shine. Take the drama out of my life. Oh Lord, every night the pain ain't right. I wake up at night, I never sleep. 26, 10, and 7, that's just me. Every day I need a little seed. I need a little fresh air, man, I need to breathe. All I know is trauma, all I know is tickets. All I know is no visit. All I know is a mission to get straight up out of prison. Lord have mercy for me. Lord have mercy on my people. Preacher Mary Washington and all my real. Lord have mercy with my people. I pray to God, we really need you. When I was down bad, when things weren't going right, every time I prayed at night, I put my hands up in my face. I said, Lord have mercy, little light of mine. Lord God, please let it shine. It's the drama that I live in my life. I swear to God, I was a bad guy every night. 10 toes down, salute. Everybody suffering, everybody who trying to make a way. Everybody looking for the sky, everybody looking for that piece of pie. In a law library, I know what that feel like. Hoping that somebody get active and involved in your situation. Man, pop your collar and pray. Cause Lord have mercy on my soul. And they make bad guy father get out soon. And the rest of those brothers who be mobbing to child each morning. Oh man, I ain't going to this afternoon. Man, I'ma miss dinner today. I got a couple of noodles. Hey, you know what that feel like? Yeah, you know what it is. And if you a victim of a wrongful conviction, suffered and served by Ken Worthy, then I know that you know what that pain feel like. And your mama know what that pain feel like. Your father know what that pain feel like. With that light, let that little shine. Let that light shine, a little light of mine. Bad guy, doughboy, we all these great people in this great world of ours. 10 toes down, salute. I appreciate you, bad guy. I appreciate you, we. I appreciate the tech. I appreciate everybody in the studio. We gonna pop off that LV. Ooh-wee. Cause that's what they be liking to see. But I hope you hear the missing when you see me fresh. Salute. Salute. You do good, bro?
Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight on Turning a Moment into a Movement. I am J Love, and I represent not only the Turning a Moment into a Movement, but the Justice for Gerard movement. Gerard was my son who was wrongly convicted of a crime that he didn't do, innocent, and he went to prison for that crime. So because of that journey with Gerard and all the people I met on that journey, I created this platform called Turning a Moment into a Movement. I revamped our mission. So our mission, because we have a little more of our mission, our mission, Turning a Moment into a Movement, was inspired by the wrongful conviction of Gerard Haycraft and built from the urgent need to create a safe, empowering space for all who have been harmed by injustice. Our mission is to shine a light on wrongful convictions, over sentencing, and the neglect of those who are mentally ill and medically fragile within the criminal legal system. We are committed to uplifting voices, sharing truth, and advocating for those too often silenced. Through education, community organizing, and courageous storytelling, we work to disrupt the systems, policies, and patterns that fuel injustice, transforming awareness into collective action and turning every moment into a movement for real change. That's our new mission statement. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. Last week we took off. We were tired. We had so much going on. We had Wrongful Conviction Summit, which Trische will be on soon to talk about the summit. We'll give a little summary of what happened there. It was really great. And I really were, of course, every year that we work with the students out at UFM, the summit is always a great event. And the next day we had a peaceful protest out in Lansing to uplift Crystal and all the women at Huron Valley. And so there was a speech that was given that was very powerful last week. And I played some of it during last week, pre-recorded broadcast, but I want to play it tonight so we can also talk about it. And then after that, I'm going to bring on the panel and introduce themselves, and then we'll get to our conversation tonight. But I just want to play some of the speech from last week.
Everybody, my name is Keisha, and I'm a member of the General Defense Committee, which means that I am an abolitionist who believes that the masses of people who have been attacked and brutalized by the police and prison system are the ones who have the vision and ability to create a better world than this, and I fight for our power to do so. Every one of us here is proof of generations of people loving each other, making choices to build something together in a society not designed for care, for love, or for support and compassion. No matter how hard, no matter what pain, no matter what mistakes are part of the path of your lineage, your existence here today is proof that you are part of a history of people coming together to try. Your existence here today is proof of someone in your life choosing to try to take care of you, feed you, support you, no matter what they did to make ends meet, no matter what mistakes this abusive society has tried to say they made along the way. Thank God you had who you had, whether prison tried to swallow them whole or not. If you have a sister, she is now gone. If you have a mother, a grandmother, a daughter, she is now gone. No matter what she did or did not do, she is now gone from your life, except maybe once or twice a year by a clinical pat-down visit or by 15-minute phone call increments, few and far between, where her tinny voice pleading for help for her bleeding ears, her physical pain, the mold in her lungs, begging for her safety, telling you she loves you, is interrupted by an automated message telling you every 2 minutes that your time is almost up. For Crystal and for all the women in the mold-infested box that is WHV prison, for their families growing older without them, I'm demanding freedom. I'm demanding liberation. Nothing less than the shutting down of WHV prison. No better prisons. No better treatment in prisons. No rehabilitation of the image of a fucking prison. Liquidate that prison and distribute all the money, all the capital that goes into maintaining that prison to the women held captive there, their families, their communities. That's what the MDOC can do. Liquidate your jobs so we can afford community-based safety alternatives. Drug rehab programs in every neighborhood, home ownership programs, publicly funded education, trade, and certification programs, re-entry programs for our community stolen from us across the state. And then never again, never take anyone again, anything that has actually been proven to reduce recidivism and support families and neighborhoods ravaged by cops and prisons, instead of this maggoty, mold-infested box. And being fed this lie, we're supposed to believe that our prisoners are more dangerous than the society that leaves them to die, that tries to convince us they're deserving of death. Let's be very clear that this prison system that feels so inescapable is a creation of the 1980s in response to the incredible civil rights and liberation movements of that time. And when people don't have enough vision to imagine a life beyond it, they talk about the dangerous people held behind bars. Our mass murderers are in office. Thank you very much. Let prison guards get real jobs. Let the ombudsman get a real job. Ombudsman husband, Keith Barber, would do more for Michigan working at the local corner store than his role in actively upholding the local woman, mother, sister kidnapping structure of WHV prison. Heidi Washington should quit her job and spend the rest of her life begging for forgiveness from the family she's helped tear apart. That's what she should do. Let this administrative moment remind us that every prison is a threat against those of us who cannot excuse the status quo, who cannot survive under this status quo. But let's not conveniently forget that this has been the truth here for millions of us, poor people, black people, people of color, immigrants, queer people. Whether we have a Democratic administration, a Democratic governor, city council, and so on and so on. No matter the administration, our taxes have gone to and continue to go to separating families. Our taxes go to infecting women with mold, feeding them maggoty food, and sexually assaulting them. Poor health care in MDOC prisons? What kind of care can be administered when the underlying cause is poverty, is criminalization, is carcerality in response to community need, is being ascribed as lesser than, as a half being, is being separated from your loved ones and your community for so long? It's amazing that you haven't died from a broken heart yet. And how many times have they been made aware of the issues within this prison and all MDOC structures? Let's be real. The issues Crystal Clark has faced. Gretchen, Keith, Heidi, we've emailed, we've hounded, we've sent strongly worded letters. What's next? We must fight harder. We must fight like our lives depend on it. Like their lives depend on it. Like our lives depend on the quality of the fight we put forward. Because they do. What will we do? Fight! What will we do?
Fight!
What's the demand? Total liberation! Shut WHV prison down! What's the demand?
Total liberation! Shut
How many
up!
times can we be placated by promises of better in the future? What future? How long can the conclusion for Crystal's life in prison be kicked like a can down the road? Do not hope. Fight! I only have hope for the future we fight for. Crystal and all of the people at WHV prison and MDOC prisons, all of us can only have hope for the future we fight, bleed, and sweat for. There is no one to save us but us. Let's get to work. If you are hearing me from Detroit, Lansing, or Washtenaw County, if you have a loved one trapped behind the bars of Women's Huron Valley Prison, Michigan GDC wants to hear from you. Send us a DM on Instagram, send us an email. We're here for the long road through hell and high water, and we want to build that next world with you and your loved ones right here, right now, hand in hand. Let's go. Free Crystal Clark.
Free Crystal
Free them all.
Free them all!
Thank you.
Woo!
Wow, that was a powerful moment from the rally last week. We're still working. We haven't stopped, and we won't stop. As a matter of fact, on next Friday, we won't have our show as regular. We're going to have a National Day of Prayer for Women at Huron Valley, and you're going to be able to watch it here on this platform. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Friday morning to 12 noon next Friday, and we're going to show it again Friday evening. So join us. If you would like to participate in the prayer, you can reach out to me or Trische, send us an email, or you can contact me personally or send us an email at turning a moment into a movement at gmail.com. And we will get back to you. We only have so many spots for the prayer. The prayer is going to be for an hour online live. So just slip me an email, give me a call, send me a text if you'd like to be a part of this event. We have a lot of people who want to be involved, so the spaces are limited. But yes, we are praying for the women at Huron Valley next Friday here live at 11 a.m. So we are continue our calls to action for Crystal and all the women there that are impacted by the toxic mold. So just stay connected with us for more calls of action. But this is something everyone's been asking, what can I do? What can I do? We can all pray. So let's come together and pray, because when we stand together in prayer, breakthroughs are possible, and justice, healing, and deliverance can be birthed. So thank you for that. So now I see Revatia's in the house. Hey, Revatia.
Hey there, I hope you can hear me okay today.
Yes. How are you? How are you? How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm wonderful.
Did you
I'm
hear
glad to be here.
That strong word from
Yeah.
the rally from Keisha?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I think that when people are coming in their authentic selves with the fire that they have on the inside of them, you know, it is contagious, and people are hearing and listening and understanding that what was told to us has sometimes been a lie. And sometimes we'd rather believe the lie over the truth. Sometimes we want to, because why? Because the lie sometimes feels good. The lie feels better sometimes than knowing the truth, you know. But the reality is that that place needs to be condemned. It needs to come down. It is not healthy, you know, and so the efforts are not in vain. I'm so glad, you know, hearing about the reports and everyone coming together and the different changes that are happening on so many different levels, where people have said, yes, I'm joining at where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm able to do. And so Jay, I'm so excited, grateful to you and to Trische and to all of those who have joined together on many levels on the campus of University of Michigan, and those who are igniting all across Michigan to really bring this to pass. And not only in Michigan, but all over the country now. People are listening, hearing the story, because Crystal's story is not unique. She is one of millions who are suffering in ill conditions. And it's time for this to stop. It is time for people to come home. And I just want to say thank you and God bless you. This is so good. Of course, I'm in there on the day of prayer, along with some of the other prayer champions out here. So I'm excited. As we know that it's not by power nor by might, but by the Spirit, where everything comes to pass. Thank you so much. It's great
and
to be here tonight.
Crystal is so excited about the day of prayer, and we sent her the flyer and she's passing it out so all the women there can join us. So I'm looking forward to that event. It's going to be very powerful that we just connect with each other and pray on that day.
Right. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I see Marcus popped in. Hold on.
Okay.
Greetings, Marcus.
Oh man, hey, how everybody doing? Look, I almost thought I wasn't gonna make it home. I got pulled over, and it was like,
did you?
Yeah, it was one cop came to the passenger side. I mean, the driver's side. Hey, you got your license? I'm like, yeah. Oh, that's my partner over there. I looked over, there's another one peeking through this window with flashlights. And I'm like, wait, is this a search and seizure? What did you got the flashlights all in my back seat for? Next thing I know, it's like 2 more cars pull up. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. You know what I'm saying? And they all was black cops.
Mm.
So I'm like, yeah, do you mind if we search your car? Nah, but here go my ID, here everything you need. You know, I'm not getting out this car though. Sorry about that.
Right.
I ain't gonna be a tight.
Yeah, why do they need to search the car?
For traffic.
I don't know. Probably, yeah, just it's honestly with the system of policing that we have now, it's still racial profiling. No matter what color cop you are, a black man in a mink and a Cadillac is a drug dealer. And it's disgusting. Like we just can't like nice stuff. and that's how I took it.
That's because the system is racist.
It's the system.
The whole system.
The system. And so when you become that part of that system, you act the part.
Right. And that's why when
did they say that you did a violation, or they just stopped you? Why? Because they thought you looked suspicious. Why did they stop you?
Well, when I asked them, their excuse was my tints is too dark on my car. I got my car from the dealership with those tints, and I've had it all the time and never got pulled over. So they trying to come up with reasons because it ain't my tail light. It ain't neither one of them, but now is your windows is too tinted. And then the other one, like, well, that's not really bad. I don't even know why they pull people. I know it's not bad. I'm in Pontiac. I'm in Oakland County, and they not pulling me over, and they just racist as hell. So now I'm in Detroit, and this is like,
oh yeah, Detroit. I got pulled over for tint too in Detroit. So
yeah, but it's just that ain't no reason to want somebody to get out of the car and search your car.
Right.
And there's more things that they could do with their life.
Right.
Right. That was the only reason I got pulled over too for tint in the city.
Give me the ticket.
Like, let me get back home.
My thing is just give me the ticket. This is not a search and seizure. If this is a civil infraction like tinted windows, so you say, give me my ticket so I'm going home about my business. Don't ask me, can you search my car? What you all in the back seat with the flashlights on? You have anything else? No. Even if I did, I don't have to tell you that. Just take the license, look at the registrations, let me go home. Let me go on my merry way. I just want to be safe. I don't want to be Tyree Nichols out here tonight.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I was so fired up. I'm like, so y'all caught me in real time. I'm actually centering in action right now as we speak.
Right.
Look, I'm
glad you're here, Marcus.
Huh?
I'm glad you're here. You had the whole week in Hollywood. How did that go?
Yeah,
it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I got to catch up with some of my cohort peoples. Getting ready to start shooting our films now. So I got to get with J Love. I know J Love. I just got my car back today, so you got to bear with me. But I got to start getting my interviews and stuff now. So we can actually start working on our documentaries and stuff now. So, and then we only get 4 days, to actually get all my film and stuff done. Then I got to focus on my music, who's going to do the music for it, and, B-rolls and stuff like that. So I'm excited about it, actually.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So tonight we're going to continue with our conversation on justice, unfolding a week of vision, voices, and vigilance, and reflecting on where Michigan stood up and spoke out and refused to ignore injustice, from the wrongful conviction summit to the protest at the Capitol to the urgent fight for Crystal Clark and the women suffering from medical neglect in Tassimota and Huron Valley. There's been a whole week full of truth-telling and accountability. So tonight, we're honored to welcome Detroit's own Jerry Flynn Dale. And I got a little bit about him I want to say, because I had to get his bio, because he is a legend, you guys.
Yes, he is.
Jerry is a prominent figure in the music industry, known for his role in the founder of Def Sound Studios in Detroit. he actually has one of those, what you call those signs, those historical markers in front of his house. He began recording his recording career at a young age and has since become a key figure in the city of Detroit's hip hop scene. Dale's contribution to music included producing many Detroit's first rap recordings and developing an A-list clientele. He is also credited with changing the format musical recording in Detroit from analog to digital. That's big. Mr. Dale's work has had a significant impact on the city and cultural landscape, particularly in the realm of hip hop and gospel music. I didn't know that. So we are honored to have him in here tonight. Mr. Jerry Dale, because we've been talking about, and I've been posting about all week about the issues in the medical and the health care for Black women. And so he reached out to me to tell me about his experience. He suffered terrifying and unacceptable experience at Henry Ford Providence Hospital in Southfield while actively having a stroke. He was confronted and threatened and denied immediate care, all because his body was already shutting down and couldn't comply with the demands of security. His story is not only heartbreaking, it is a mirror from the same systemic neglect we are fighting inside our prisons. Jerry's voice is part of this moment, and tonight we will rise together. So, without further ado, I want to bring on our guest for tonight, Mr. Jerry Flynn Dale. Oh, I do have applause. I do have applause.
Well, I want to first start off by saying thank you for having me on this platform and having me as a guest. And I want to say that I'm a co-founder of Depth Sound Studio. Percy Warmack II is a co-founder. He's a Detroit Fire Chief Battalion. He is retiring December the 9th. So they're going to miss a strong advocate in the Detroit Fire Department. He's a fire chief. His father was a fire chief for the department. And I want to thank Percy for coming along for the ride. He's a silent partner. He let me do all the day-to-day operations since I was a teenager. And he said, is the late, great Lamont Dozier from Holland, Dozier, Holland. So I want to give that part of the introduction.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
And I am the co-founder and chairman of the board of the McKinney Foundation, along with Dr. McKinney, Dr. Tim McKinney. So I have a health component background. It was very unnerving last week when I sit back and think about how I was threatened arrest if I didn't take off my belt and I didn't comply. Well, I couldn't use the right side of my body, so there was no way in the world I could have took off my belt. So that was a non-starter. Now, I go into the hospital and I kind of sort of tell them what's going on. It's hard to convey what's happening because I'm having a stroke. So we go in the VAC. So while I was there in triage intake, I told him, I said, my cousin, I have 3 people that I want to have a part of this process. Kimberly Blackman, which is my cousin, Vicky Thomas, who is also my cousin. These are my two of my strongest advocate cousins. And Vicky Thomas is the communication director for the mayor, for Mayor Duggan's office. And when I was in there, I asked them because they were acting really stupid. And it was like, I just felt like I was not going to get the care. I said, look, I want to contact Councilwoman Angela Calloway, who is a very strong advocate for people
Yes,
in the
yes.
community.
Mm-hmm.
District number 2, very strong advocate. This is one of my strongest advocates that I know that if she's contacted, she's going to get things done immediately. So I'm in the room. I can't call her or call Vicky or call Kim because when you're in the room, when you get the CRT, it was no way for me to communicate at all with no one. So I had Councilwoman Calloway's keychain around my neck, and they were more concerned what was my relation to her than it was me getting the help. And I guess they got spooked because they saw the keychain around my neck and they saw her name and her number, and they got very spooked as to, was I going to sue them? Was this going to get out in the media? They was really spooked. And I'm sitting up there like, look, I'm trying to prevent myself from dying from having a stroke. And y'all spooked. Mm-hmm. They should have been spooked because had I not had that keychain around my neck, I wouldn't have got proper care immediately. I guarantee you that. They had no intention of giving me proper care. Their concern was if I took off my belt or not when I went through the metal detector, which I couldn't take my belt off regardless. I mean, who was going to take my belt off? Who was going to take all the stuff out of my pocket? So I asked the guy, I said, "Wind me." He was like, "I'll arrest you. I'll have you arrested." And I'm sitting up here like, okay, so we exchanging words with this situation. This is precious time.
And you having a stroke while this is all happening,
that's right? You having a stroke, yes. Every second counts. There is no time to be arguing back and forth with a moron who don't care nothing about your health at all. And he just there just to, show off or to argue with me. So I said, okay, I'm in the hospital. I'm telling my cousin this, told my 2 cousins this, and I said, I'll get back with you later because you're in the hospital. They don't need to cause no ruckus because I'm in the hospital. I don't got time for them not to give me proper care because they upset with me. You know what I'm saying? They like, well, let's do this, that, and the other. So I told Joy, I said, I'll get with them today, which is Friday. Stroke was last Thursday, and I'll get with them and we'll get this popping next week because we know if they did it to me, this is pattern and practice. This is what they do. Yeah. And this is nothing new to Providence. Every time I went in Providence, they want you to go through the metal detector. I get all that. When you're having a stroke, it's time out for the metal detector. That all gotta be put to the side, and we can deal with this later. And you can wind the person down, even while they're sitting in the chair, if that's what you want to do. But I know at that particular point, you're just upsetting the patients that's going through this problem. And we all know these things happen, like it did with the lady who was having her baby, and they told her she couldn't have her baby there. She had to come back, and she had the baby 8 minutes later. This is ridiculous.
We're gonna play that.
This,
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
This reaps of racism, and it's racism even if you're Black and you're doing this. Yeah. When you're Black, because you are, they are just going with the commands that they've been given. They've been given this authority. They've been given this authority to do this. This is crazy that they have this authority to arrest a stroke patient. This is totally out of line. It is immoral. It is unethical and illegal. It's illegal to arrest a person having a stroke because I didn't take off my belt. What are you on, some power trip? I didn't come in there power tripping. I came in to get help. And say, this is the 3 people that I want you to contact. Because when you contact these 3 people, I know it's going to be some advocacy. And Councilwoman Angela Whitfield Calloway, she is very busy. And she called him to the hospital, called me. She said anything that I needed, she will provide it for me. Troy Muhammad, who is Minister Louis Farrakhan's right-hand man in Detroit, he contacted me. He said if I needed anything, he said he wanted to come see me because he wanted to put his eyes on me. Because he, needed to know where I was at and this, that, and the other. Pastor Mo came to the hospital. One of my friends, her name is Monique. She's a nurse practitioner. And my co-partner with the Cody alumni, her name is Bridget Renee. She came. It was a lot of people. I had 27,000 views, hits, likes, prayers, shout outs, people that was advocating for me getting through this process that I'm going through. 27,000 people. That's a lot of people. I couldn't even keep up with the people that was getting in touch with me. I had national people get in touch with me. Of course, Mario Juanes, who's my little brother, Bunny DeBarge, who's a friend of mine. I'm like her little brother. She contacted me. There's a lot of people that was getting in touch with me about this, and I'm gonna share my story with them. So we're gonna branch off with this, and we're gonna get some help, and we're gonna get some correction at Providence Hospital. We're gonna get some real serious correction.
I was going to ask you, did anyone apologize? Did they come and talk to you? Did anything happen
No,
after
they didn't
this
apologize.
incident?
Well, some of the nurses there apologized, but administration, they didn't. I didn't get in touch with the top administration there because I'm in the hospital. I didn't have time to be on some real, rah-rah advocacy while I'm at the hospital. I'm there to get help. I don't know what they're going to do to me. My life is in their hands at that particular point. My cousin knew, and she already said that we are going to address this. But at that particular point, there was no time to address what I was going through because, we talking about a stroke. We talking about life challenges. Right. I had no time to be sitting there like holding a rally in a hospital, and I'm a stroke survivor.
Right. And this was like 8 days ago.
This was 8 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm just able to, my hand's still messed up because it affected the right side of my body. So my arm and hand is still tingly and numb. My face, my right side of my face is still numb and tingly. But, it's thank God that I'm blessed by the best and I'm working towards recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say anybody out there who's not taking their medicine, please take your medicine. The people that's on Facebook who telling you, try nuts, berries, and, this, that, and the other, that's fine. That could possibly work. But if you had a stroke, you ain't got time for nuts and berries. You got to take the medicine until you can get better. Then you can win yourself off of that. Mm-hmm. I get it. At this particular point, I got to go for, the physical therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And things of that nature. But Joy, we got a lot of work to do with these hospitals and getting all of this together. And tomorrow, when I meet with Minister Troy Muhammad and some of the other civic leaders in the community, we're gonna get this straight. We're gonna make sure that no one else is gonna be going through this nonsense at these hospitals, whether it's receiving, where it's Sinai, where there is no grace, whether it's Providence, okay, slash Henry Ford now. We're gonna get all this straight. There is no the reason why I did not go to Sinai because there's no grace to Sinai. Okay, they can call it Sinai grace all they want to.
Yeah, I can tell you there's no grace.
There's no grace.
There's absolutely no grace at Sinai. Go ahead, Reverend Tia.
Yeah, Jerry, it's such a blessing that you were able to pull through regardless of what the shenanigans that they were doing. You're so pivotal in the community. And I'm not, the sad thing is I'm not shocked because this has been an acceptable way of behaving that these hospitals have done through the years. And you can tell through the culture of the hospital that the intention is not to help the people. And the sad thing, and I think I really want people to understand that you are seeing your own people inside the hospital.
Absolutely.
We're doing this to each other.
Yes. Yeah, and the behavior is atrocious. And a friend of mine, Jay Sanders, who's a broker, many years ago, I was at a club, I got shot, and the bullet had moved out of my arm, and the doctors was afraid it's going to go to my bloodstream and go to my heart. And the fragments of the gunshot. We went to Sinai Grace. I sat there, signed in. We went to St. John's on 12 Mile DeQuinder. I got, waited on rather quickly, made an appointment for me to have my operation there. He removed the gunshot and the fragments, came chilled. We did something else, went back to Sinai Grace, and they still had not waited on me, which was hours later. Then I left and came back 18 hours later, and I still had not been waited on. Well, this was in the 90s, so I'm not going to say this was like last week. This was in the 90s, and from that point, me and Jay Sanders, we still talk about how Detroit does not have proper care for its for its citizens.
Mm-hmm. And then, as we say, this is the same medical neglect that shows up in different systems, but the same patterns.
That's right. That's right.
The same patterns of neglect. The same, we talking about it, you, Jerry, or Crystal Clark, not being heard, not being seen, not being, taking the information in and listening to you, not providing care, slow to act, the same patterns. So
well, I know that I could have ramped things up very quickly and very loud. And then I would have got a different care. But when the doctors slowly start understanding my position in the community, they act in kind to that. And they acted in a response to that. Okay? But I was not there to have some big hoopla saying, oh, this is my position in society, and here I am, and I'm better than every patient in this hospital. I was not there for that. I was there to give care, and I wanted to care, and I wanted everyone to get the proper care that everyone deserved. And I'm going to say that there's some things that need to be desired at the hospital at Providence, Henry Ford Providence, that need to be fixed. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be fixed and addressed immediately. Now, the old Jerry that was a lot younger, I would be hooping and hollering and screaming to the high heavens about what was going on. Now, you know, I'm almost 57 years old. So I've been through a whole lot. So I know to do things a little bit different administratively. And I know that once Troy Muhammad come and visit me tomorrow, and Jay, I will definitely put you abreast of what's going on. Things are going to change and heads are going to roll. Once I tell Councilwoman Angela Whitfield Calloway about the service that I received at this hospital, things are going to change. And I know for a fact things are going to change. And I know once I tell Nikki how sickening it was there, because she walked in the hospital to a crisis, okay? She walked in, it was a crisis that was going on, and the doctor that was there was explaining to her my medical condition and the crisis I was in. So she walked into a lot on her plate, and we had to get past the crisis before we can get past the service. And this is where we're at. And I know it was lots of other people in there who had crisis going on. And we must address the crisis. And they need a stroke team. They need a team that's going to help in a certain way. It doesn't matter who you are in the community. It shouldn't matter who you are. It should be everyone should get fair treatment, not preferential treatment because of my political affiliations. But that's what they wanted to happen there at the hospital. And they started acquiescing to make sure that I was not talking or I wasn't loud about it. And like, okay, we're going to make them very comfortable. But the damage was done from when I walked in the hospital, how it was, you know, I was treated. The damage had already been done. And the gauntlet had already been thrown down. And because of that, this is where I come in with my advocacy. And trust and believe me, this was not something that I anticipated on doing. Because last Thursday, I'd anticipated having a stroke. And I didn't anticipate, now I got to have another cause and another fight. But, you know, hey, God put you in these positions for a particular reason.
Yes. Timothy said, I feel like they look at your insurance card like a credit card and process you on through next. I do too.
I had great insurance. So that the insurance was not the problem. I had great insurance. It wasn't like I had bad insurance. You know, if I didn't have good insurance, I would have said it. But the insurance wasn't the issue. The issue
so when
was
you got to the hospital, did you have to go through metal detectors?
Yes. I had to go through a metal detector. And that was here.
So you having a stroke and you got to go through metal detectors. You can't get to anybody immediately.
No.
That's a problem right there.
I mean, let's just be honest. You know what I mean? With it goes deeper than just racism. Naturally, even in this particular system we have, and we're talking about public health and safety, right? And which again derived from the words law and order, which again derived from the Fugitive Slave Act in 1850. So all of this is like it is different words to say the same thing. That black skin is criminalized, poverty is criminalized, and once they've already dehumanized us, then you have situations like Crystal Clark, and where brother, he must have lost his Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know. I'm just so heightened right now. I'm still thinking about my pullover thing. I'm still trying to calm down from that. But yeah, that's disgusting what actually happened to him. And somebody brought up they do look at your credit card. I mean your healthcare card like a credit card and give you care based on that, and that is actually true. I remember I had some really good health insurance when I was having my baby, and I remember they had hurried up and got my daughter's mother into a room. We had a huge room too. We had the PlayStation in there, you know what I'm saying? We had family in there. We was in that deep, you know what I'm saying? We got over hell in there. But I remember coming back and it was somebody else pregnant, and they had this woman just sitting in the hallway in the bed, like right in the hallway, and there was a line of beds in the hallway. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, these women is trying to about to have babies. St. Joseph Hospital, to be exact, in Pontiac. And I'm like, you got all these women, you got some in wheelchairs, some laying in the bed on IVs and stuff like that. But they just took us straight in the room, a huge room that could have been like 2 rooms or whatever. And then when you go to where they actually take the other people with, I guess, not so great insurance, and then they doubled up damn near in rooms. You know, they got a little curtain separating all of them. You know what I'm saying? So it was no comfort. They was nasty. They was kind of rude. So yeah, I think, you know what I'm saying, at first, and to this day, yeah, of course, black skin is still being criminalized in the eyes of public health and safety, but also poverty now is criminal because you're either poor or rich. And I don't see any middle class anymore. So, you know what I mean? Even when it comes to healthcare, with black skin, beginning with the doctor, I forgot his name, the quote unquote god of gynecology, where he was operating on black women, saying that they can take more pain than a white woman. And so all the procedures they did without providing any, you know, some pain meds on women back then, just so they can create things for white women. And you know what I mean? So still to this day, you know what I'm saying, they are still practicing on black people. and now it ain't just black people, they're practicing on poor people. And this is what you see outside.
And incarcerated people.
Yeah,
you know.
This is what you see outside of prison. And when you incarcerated, they were using placebos and practicing medication on us so they can use our hair and which one, just to see how our reactions would be. And I'm saying practicing for lack of better words. It's called experimenting. So there's experiment. They experiment on us in prison, and I know because I was almost one of those experiments. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, when I got to seeing how people was coming out drooling and face sliding down, and they was not the same person, and they was giving this other person a pill, and I realized that those were placebos because we had a nurse that was cool that told us, like, yeah, they gonna get them placebos, and this is what they practicing to see. So it's like this, you know what I mean? You know, so in prison they practice on everybody in there. They experiment on everybody. Out here is black and poor. So, and they automatically assume Brother Jerry was out. Well, I mean, you can see he's clearly black, and they probably didn't think that he had, you know, saying insurance as well. So I think it was a whole bunch of factors that played in that he must be lying. He can't be having a stroke. You're gonna go through the process in the name of public health and safety. So you're gonna go through this. Then never mind that this brother's having a stroke. Never mind that you're making him uncomfortable, that your life is in his hand and he depends on you to save him. So now you got to bite his tongue, shrink, just so you can feel good about yourself to even consider giving him care. Which means at the end of the day, it's just another case of the dehumanization of a human being. That's all I'm saying.
Look at this, you guys. I got a video.
Skin Health of Olympia Fields kicked me out after having a stroke in the emergency room. Trigger that proper care is not able to be given at a hospital. Like that healthcare facilities need to stop. I was given medication after I had a stroke. Provide me with the walker because I'm not able to walk. But then when Franciscan Health says the doctor that I've never met before discharged me and I have to go. Fall risk. You left me here to be escorted out the building.
Huh?
So they put her out the hospital after having a stroke.
Huh?
Crazy.
Are you
This is one
serious?
of the, yeah.
That's
This
not an
is the
AI.
same hospital system that the lady was put out of, um, that had the baby.
My daughter's in active labor, and this is a Franciscan Crown Point being put out in active labor. So we gotta transfer her to a different hospital.
When's your due date? Ah, right now. Is your due date 11? What? How many times have you been pregnant? 3. This is your 3rd pregnancy? Yes. You have 2 babies It's at in home? my ass. You have 2 babies at home? Who's your doctor?
Lang is her doctor. Y'all treat all your patients like this, or just the black ones?
Beverly's a personality patient for you. Last name is Jones. She's G3P2. I'm not sure what her due date is.
Her due date
I
is
just
the
said
10th.
it was the 10th. I think her due date is the 10th.
She got 3 pregnancies, 2 babies at home. I bet y'all listen next time. When you found out you was delivering at this hospital, your ass should have changed doctors. Everybody say how they treat people.
I don't know. I felt like a little snatch 'em up should have happened on that nurse.
Brother T, I
See,
could
see
look
how
at both of those ladies.
nonchalant she was, though. It's like she
Yeah.
think it's almost like, and I'm the, I don't know, but it almost seemed like she think that, again, black people can take this particular pain. It's not a Russian situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so what? You know, so I'm gonna go through these procedures. You're gonna sit there in pain. You're gonna suffer. Psychologically, I don't think black people actually feels that amount of pain like a white woman.
Yes.
Wow.
It's expected. It is expected for black women to take on more pain. And this really irritates me to no end. And you see it across the board. You see it in any state in this United States. It is an expectation that black women are able to endure more pain, more hardship than anybody else. In that moment, I don't know, like if that would have been my daughter, I know I would want her to get care. But at the same time, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if a snatch 'em up would not have happened at that moment. Because And the sad thing, this is really sad because it is the hospital, it's the culture of that organization, it's the culture of that particular hospital. There was a time in Detroit when Grace, when it was a separate hospital, it was on the cutting edge for maternal medicine. You would not know that today. When I had the twins, it was cutting edge, state of the art. When I got to the hospital, the triage, the system was so easy. The doctor they were already expecting that, I was going to be delivering there. So when I came in right away, went to triage, they hurried up and examined me. When I got there, I was already a 10. Hurried up, got me into, I did not go through all of that. I don't know.
Me
Yeah,
either.
this is, yeah.
You can look at both of those women and tell by the position of their stomach that they was getting ready to have a baby. No matter where they was dilated at, no matter what you say you saw or didn't see, you can look at them and tell. I have to agree with you. I never had that. I think at the time when I had babies, that it was a little bit different. And now it's pretty much so ran for profit. They get you in and get you out. That's their whole motto now. Push you in and push you out. If you could get in there. I know my mom, I took her to Providence and Novi before it turned into Henry Ford to that situation. And her doctor was the, chief there. So all I had to do was say his name, and immediately we got to where we needed to go.
Yeah.
So my mom had such a rapport with her doctor that I could call him and say, hey, this is what's going on with my mom. And he'll call ahead of us and make the pathway clear. All we had to do is go in and check in, and then we're going through. Now you have to have a team. I know when I flipped over in my Jeep and I knew that I had to have a team of doctors. I always have a Black doctor. And every other doctor that I needed after I flipped over and I was going through that care, I wanted to make sure that there was a Black doctor or somebody who had compassion. Just because these people work in the medical field doesn't necessarily mean that they have compassion and their kindness. There are kind people. Now, we're not going to put everybody into it because I met some wonderful people that work in the hospital. But there are some people who are just there because of a check. And when you come in that door, they treat you any kind of way. And they talk to you any kind of way. When I was at Sinai Grace with Gerard, and when Jerry said Sinai with no grace, it just really like touched me because that was my experience at Sinai Grace. I know that you was there with Shawana, and that was your experience with Sinai Grace.
We had to move her. We had to move her out of that hospital. It was horrible.
It was horrible, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to move my son. He had to die in that. It was so bad that they put Wood out the hospital. They wouldn't let him. He trying to get to me, and the security police or whatever they are that's there. They got into a bit altercation. It's just ridiculous where people have to go to get care around here because you're criminalized when you walk in this door. You got to walk through metal detectors like you at the airport. Why do and then I go out here in the suburbs, there's no metal detectors. I can walk right through to the hospital. So it's just, I'm just so grateful, Jerry, that you're here tonight to speak on your story. I am not surprised. I'm shocked, but not surprised of the experience you have, because so many people are having those experiences and not talking about it, but we kind of normalize it like it's okay. And that's why we have this so disconnect when we're talking about Crystal. When we're talking about what's going on in that mold infested prison, people want to know what she did. It's more important about what she did or didn't do than the mold that's growing out her ears, than the mold that's growing on her chest, than the mold that's growing out her nose. A lady just died in there on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we don't have any capacity because we normalize bad care. We have to know that we are worthy of great care. And that if I come in here with my insurance card, and I or not, or not, don't you take an oath to take care of people when you walk in here? And should it be a place of healing, and you come in there with respect and not somebody trying to arrest you because you're having a medical condition and you cannot, you know, go by their commands, taking off your belt and all this other stuff. I'm trying to get help. I don't have time to take off my belt. It's just ridiculous. And that we have to do more to advocate for not only ourselves, but each other. And if the longer we stay silent and we don't say stuff and we don't do nothing, this continues. It becomes the norm. And then when we speak on it, other people that don't look like us think we're just, complaining. But no, it is not. You don't have the same issue that we have. You could go right in there and nobody's questioning you. I'm sure if a white woman came in the hospital with mold growing out her ears and out her nose and stuff and all that on her body, there'd be a different type of move, an urgency of help for her than it is for these ladies that we're talking about. And because we're the taxpayers, and we pay this $2 billion a year for this operation to run, I want my $2 billion, my portion of it, how little or small it is, to be helpful to those people than lining your pockets and not doing nothing. Like the article that just came out this week also about how they have $19 million in a fund that they're not using it for what it's intended for. So I just want to say, I had to go there because this is crazy. Go ahead, Jerry. And then Marcus.
I want to ask, when you're in this situation, when you're in this situational ship, we have been conditioned to code switch. Now, we really want to lash out, this, that, and the other, act a fool. But we've been conditioned that if we do that, and these people got needles.
You're unmuted. You muted, sir.
Your sound went out. Jerry, your sound went out. Try it now, Jerry.
Nah, we can't hear you, brother.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. What I was saying is, we've been conditioned that when you're in these hospitals like this, especially around here, nobody nowhere else, if you start flipping out, you start voicing your opinion, they'll flip you over to a psychiatric hospital quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You get a regular patient to be in the site. And if you were there a good month. And they will get a petition from a judge to say, oh, he was cussing out these people, or he was loud, or he was not being a team player. And you will end up in a psych ward. We all know that's true. We all know that's one of their ways to get us to acquiesce to their social norms around here. And that definitely needs to be addressed. Big time. We all know that for those who know how to jump through the hoops, or how to act a part around certain people, we're going to get certain treats. It's called treatment. Those who don't, and we want to voice our opinions, we're going to go to the psych ward, or we're not going to get proper care. And we know that's happening every single day in southeastern Michigan, and that definitely has to stop.
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead, Marcus.
No, I lost my train of thought, but I was just kind of thinking, one, when we think about the lack of care that we see happening out here, including what we just the disgusting things that we just saw. It always takes me back to when I was incarcerated, and Crystal Clark's case, that we didn't even have an option to go to another hospital.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? You just kind of stuck there. You know what I'm saying? So you're being tortured, being murdered, actually. You know what I'm saying? The system is murdering you. And like in the Crystal Clark case, we can see mold growing out of her ears, nose, her face slid down. You know what I'm saying? You watching her being murdered in real time. And like you mentioned earlier, the only thing people say, well, what did she do then? Why did she do that? I'm like, what the fuck that got to do with her being murdered? You know what I'm saying? And I always say the word rehabilitation is always disgusting to me, because you can't rehabilitate people that has never been habilitated. So are you habilitating her to just be tortured and go crazy in there? Because you can't be habilitating her to go home by providing her the tools to be successful, because you're murdering her. And so again, what I'm saying is, are you saying that her rehabilitation once she leaves prison is to let people just torture her? Is that the habilitation and the rehabilitation we're talking about here? Because if you can't see her as a human, if your first thought would go to what did she do to get there, rather than why are y'all not giving her care? And I'm talking to not just, and I've heard this from women, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, first of all, she is a woman, you know what I'm saying? And even men, she is a woman. She is a human being. What does it matter what she did? Are you saying that she is not worthy of dignity and care, compassion? Because I'm out here right now, and if I don't like one hospital, I might have a stroke over here, and it might be terrible. I might get shot over here, or I might be giving birth over there. And if I don't like it, if hopefully I can make it to a next hospital, but I do have an option, you know what I'm saying, up under those extraneous circumstances, I can still go to another space. Crystal Clark doesn't have that. So it's 10 times worse. Because if they are murdering her and they are killing her, nobody's coming to save her. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? And this is no knock, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what our elected officials are doing behind the scenes. I don't know, but I don't see it. And I can only go on what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is, after, you know what I'm saying, well, months after our elected officials went in there and laid eyes on her, some of them even getting sick because of the mold themselves, she is still there dying.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck? Is it because we don't got a video camera on this shit where the world can see?
Right.
Because my taxpaying dollars are murdering her.
Yeah. And Jennifer died Sunday. Jennifer Wallace died Sunday. And when Crystal called to tell me that Jennifer Wallace passed away, she said Jennifer had been suffering like her, sick like her.
And now imagine how she must feel psychologically.
She said that.
Is that the
She
kind of
said that to me.
habilitation that they giving her to rehabilitate her when she come home? Because if she didn't, because again, the conversation of rehabilitation, the sexy word that they threw on it is this is a department of rehabilitation. But if I didn't have the tools to be successful, hence why I ended up in prison, then how are you going to re-give me the shit that I didn't have? You know what I'm saying? So now what I'm going to condition, you are conditioning me then to allow you to torture me and be just that. Because did she just watch somebody else die from the same shit she's fighting for? So she's not trying to work on, you can't focus on your mental health. You can't focus on those things when you're being tortured. Like literally torturing. I don't know how I feel if I have something growing on my ears. I'm gonna do like this all day. I can't pull it out. I mean, can you imagine weeds or whatever fungus in your ear? Like, as a human being, that makes me get chills. So I don't know how this is done.
Right. And just like I was telling the Jerry, this is the same, two different systems, but the same pattern, the same type of neglect, same type of criminalization, the same thing. So,
and it's the same biases. It's the same biases across the board, and they would need to rework that whole culture, the whole hospital culture. They are understaffed. But that's no excuse. They do treat the people like numbers, and they just want to get them in, get them taken care of, and get them out. They do have inept people who are security. You have a combination of the hospital dealing with the homelessness problem that is a problem in the city. You have people who are homeless that used to be in homes that could help them fit and be a part of society, but that no longer pay for that anymore. People don't understand that. They used to have that for people. And all of that is not available. And for you to get in a program now, at a good, a decent program, you have to have more than one. You have to have a developmental disability along with a mental health disability. So if you just have one thing, if you just have schizophrenia, they say you're overqualified for that. So we have all of these parameters that are in the inner city. So when you people, even if you have good insurance, they don't care. You have really good insurance, they don't care. That just means they get paid.
Right.
And it's really ridiculous, and after a while, if we begin to develop our own health system, when you start having where you have birthing places where these doctors aren't getting paid, then they're going to want to try and make you go to the hospital. But we need to do something else, because it's not working.
It was never designed to work for us in the first place.
Right.
So when we could come to that understanding, that we realize that you can realize that nobody's coming to save us. This system was started in 1850 with the Fugitive Slave Act and things on and so on and so forth. So if you look at this system and what they are doing to our healthcare system right now, even taking titles off of people that's actually going to school for it to make it unattractive. The argument on one hand is we are short-staffed. The next argument is why. And his third argument is, what have you done for me anyway?
Yeah.
So, so I think we need more doulas. I think we need to invest in more doulas, and we need to have our own community hospitals that look like us, represent us, and those that have compassion. Because one thing, I read it in the book, and it was talking about judges. And it said that, it ain't the schools and colleges that these judges went to, because they went to some of the most prominent ones. It's it is your core moral compass.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You
That's
can do.
it.
I can look at your resume, and your resume can be sexy as hell. But I don't know what goes on in your mind mentally, your biasness and things like that. I really don't know, because you can make yourself sound real sexy and about humanity when we sitting here for this interview. But then when you get on the job, then you actually carry out what your biases was and who you are in the first place. And if, like you said, somebody said, if you're going for a job, if you just see me as a dollar sign and let me hurry up and get as many people out so I can meet this quota, then yeah, I'm not gonna get no care. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get bare minimum, and I'm only gonna get treatment to what this pamphlet told me to give treatment to. And that pamphlet was told to give treatment to somebody who has money. You know what I'm saying? And who doesn't look like me. So like such as the Constitution. It wasn't drafted to include me.
Right.
So let's just be honest. We grasping at straws and we thinking about all these different talking points, but the bottom line is, until we actually speak out in front on and get those platforms, but they would never give it to somebody like me or you. You know, so they would never give it to us. They don't want to hear that truth. But the truth of the whole matter is, it was never built for us in the first place, and we need to start focusing towards self-governance and stop depending on them or those are the higher people or whatever the case may be, white supremacy, patriarchy, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? We got to quit thinking that those systems are going to allow us in that world, because they're not. You know, it's just not. And we've seen it playing out in real time, not just with Brother Jerry's situation, not just with the women that you see in giving birth. You know what I'm saying? But you've seen it playing out in real time with Crystal Clark. That's just a prime example.
Right. It's a reflection on the system that's already existing.
Yeah, we gotta have these conversations to continue to have these conversations, ignite the passion that's within people, get people to come together, have those birthing centers, you know, and have help within the community where we don't have to go far to get it. Well, that video, that lady, she didn't even count that pregnant woman as a person. Her back, she never looked at her. Never looked at her.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tonight's conversation. It is very necessary. We're going to have to continue this more, having these conversations like that, because it's all a reflection of us. And thank you, Jerry, for joining us tonight. Rebetia and Marcus that already popped out. And we'll see you next week. What'd you say, Jerry?
Thanks for having me. And anytime you need, my presence or my voice or some background work, I am definitely there for that. Do not hesitate to contact me. I work really good in the background. You don't have to be invisible, but I'll be working.
Yeah, we'll be calling on you. Jerry, tell my other sister Tia, tell her Tia said hello.
I certainly will.
All right. And next week, you guys, Friday, don't forget about the National Day of Prayer that we're going to be having here at 11 a.m. Join us here at 11 a.m. on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. We will be here with different ministers and prayer warriors, and we're going to pray for the women and pray for the whole entire environment at Women's Huron Valley. And thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week on Turning a Moment into a Movement. Good night.
Just light up mine. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Just light up mine. Just light up mine. I'm gonna let it
light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh Lord, just let it shine. This light of mine, this light of mine. Oh Lord, would you please just let it shine. Take the drama out of my life. Oh Lord, every night the pain ain't right. I wake up at night, I never sleep. 26, 10, and 7, that's just me. Every day I need a little seed. I need a little fresh air, man, I need to breathe. All I know is trauma, all I know is tickets. All I know is no visit. All I know is a mission to get straight up out of prison. Lord have mercy for it. Lord have mercy on my people. Preacher Mary Washington and all my real. Lord have mercy with my people. I pray to God, we really need you. When I was down bad, when things weren't going right, every time I prayed at night, I put my hands up in my face. I said, Lord have mercy, little light of mine. Lord God, please let it shine. It's the drama that I live in my life. I swear to God, I was a bad guy every night. 10 toes down, salute. Everybody suffering, everybody who trying to make a way. Everybody looking for the sky, everybody looking for that piece of pie. In a law library, I know what that feel like. Hoping that somebody get active and involved in your situation. Man, pop your collar and pray. Cause Lord have mercy on my soul. And they make bad guy father get out soon. And the rest of those brothers who be mobbing to child each morning. Oh man, I ain't going to this afternoon. Man, I'ma miss dinner today. I got a couple noodles. You know what that feel like? Do you know what it is? And if you a victim of a wrongful conviction, suffered and served by Ken Worthy, then I know that you know what that pain feel like. And your mama know what that pain feel like. Your father know what that pain feel like. With that light, let that little shine. Let that light shine, a little light of mine. Bad guy, Doughboy Week, all these great people in this great world of ours. 10 toes down, salute. I appreciate you, bad guy. I appreciate you, Week. I appreciate the tech. I appreciate everybody in the studio. We gonna pop off that LV. Ooh-wee. Cause that's what they be liking to see. But I hope you hear the missing when you see me fresh. Salute.